Hello, I'm Jeff Allen Wolfe, and this is A World Gone Mad. This is episode 200, and that number actually matters. Most podcasts don't get anywhere near this. They stop. Most stop after the first episode. A lot stop by episode 20. People drift away, life gets messy, and the microphone goes quiet. Getting to 200 episodes in a podcast means I kept doing this when almost nobody was listening, when the numbers didn't justify the work, when quitting would have been easier and honestly made more sense. But I didn't quit. Not because it was fun, not because I received any type of money. I kept going because someone had to say what the hell was happening in our country out loud. Because America is being ripped apart by a delusional leader. And the chaos we're living in right now is not normal. 200 episodes isn't a celebration. It means I'm still here. It means I'm still pissed off. It means I'm not shutting up. Now, before I move on, I want to say this. Getting to 200 episodes didn't happen in a vacuum. A lot of this work happens quietly. Most of the time, I don't know who's on the other end listening. If you're listening right now, and if this show has been a part of your life in any way, I'd genuinely like to hear from you. An email, a note, a thought from you. That kind of connection actually matters to me. Help me celebrate episode 200. I'd appreciate that. Text me or email me at wolfpacktalks@gmail.com. Okay, episode 200, here we go. What a frigging mess America is in right now. One ignorant, small-minded, insecure little man has destroyed our country and gotten us to this point. That's genuinely a sad visual and feeling. We're in a chaotic time, and not just our country, but the world has been put on notice and is on a high alert. Did any of you watch the following recently? James Carville, a veteran Democratic strategist and political commentator, best known for helping run Bill Clinton's winning 1992 presidential campaign, and known for his blunt, no-nonsense analysis of American politics, said this on The Beat with Ari Melba on MSNBC. Quote, "The Republicans are planning a midterm mini-convention with Trump attending. They're going to go to Minneapolis, and Trump's going to try to provoke a race war." Carville suggested after he said that quote, that Trump will then be able to invoke martial law and call out the military. This is a respected political pundit who basically stated that Trump is off his frigging rocker and will attempt this before the midterms. What do you feel about this, Wolfpack listener? Do you care? If you're ignoring any of this going on, or you're too overwhelmed to have a reaction, wake up. Donald the delusional one is so far gone and into himself, we can expect anything from him, including what Carville thinks will happen. Now, I'm not saying that will succeed. I'm not saying this is the end of America. But I am saying we better fucking wake up. And Republicans and the court systems better fucking wake up. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, warning. We have an unhinged, delusional person that needs to be removed from office legally. You know it. I know it. Now we need the key players in Washington to acknowledge it. And they need to do something about this before it's too late. And I've said this before that I'm going to say next many episodes ago, and I'm sure a lot of you thought I was crazy then. I told you to get your supplies in order and get prepared. Water, food, batteries. There's something wrong with Jeff. Jeff is overreacting. I'm not. A handful of you wrote me back then and said I was suggesting some good ideas. I'm going to repeat it to you, the rest of you, in this episode. Get supplies in your house ahead of November, ahead of the midterms. Get extra water, get extra canned goods, extra batteries, etc. Yes, I know a lot of you can't afford even medicine right now. But if some of you can, find a way just to get a little bit more extra food in your house. A little extra water and food in your house. And definitely batteries. Everyone. You need flashlights, LED lanterns, etc. A good hand crank radio to keep up with what's going on. You should have all of this in your house anyway. It's just smart. Regardless of what's going on in our country and with Donald Trump, this is good to have for any emergency. Now, I'm sure a ton of you have clicked off this episode by now. If you did, that's their loss. Jeff's not saying anything irrational. Jeff's pointing out we need to be prepared for anything coming from Donald, the wannabe king. There are no guardrails left, people. The traditional way of handling all of this is gone. So it's up to us to protect our family and ourselves. All right. I'm not going to bore you and go on and on about this, but I needed to state this clearly and strongly. Wake up. Take action as soon as you can. Now, I'd be curious to find out how many of you are doing this right now, preparing food, water, etc. I'm guessing 2 or 3 of you at the most. I hope you prove me wrong and let me know. Wolfpack listeners, all of you, whether it's 5 of you or 500, can all see Donald Trump's mental capacity deteriorate minute by minute. He's not a sane man. He is a narcissistic, insecure little boy, a clear and present danger to us and the world. And somehow, some way, something has to happen to remove this cancer called Trump from America. I'm hoping a handful of leaders on the Republican side wake the hell up and do something. What we're watching right now is what happens when a delusional man is given power and nobody stops him. Reality stops mattering. Facts become optional. Everything turns into force, spectacle, and loyalty tests. And Minnesota is the latest example of where that leads. A federal operation ends with a 37-year-old ICU nurse dead, Alex Preddy. The government instantly says it was self-defense by ICE. And then they refuse to release the basic facts that would let the public judge that claim. No clear timetable, no real explanation, no transparency. And when lawmakers, including Republicans, start calling for the investigation on this, that isn't politics. That's alarm bells. Instead of answering questions, the response from the White House is to send Tom Homan. Bovino goes home, Tom Homan comes in. Trump's hardline border czar and longtime advocate of aggressive federal crackdowns. This isn't about finding the truth. It's about intimidation. It's about showing muscle. It sends a message that scrutiny won't be met with answers. It'll be met with escalation. Shuffle leadership, send in hardliners, lock down the story before the facts have a chance to surface. Here's the danger. If federal agents can kill a civilian, offer no proof, and then have the response be more force instead of more accountability, that becomes the new normal. People are trained to accept, trust us, instead of evidence. agencies learn they don't really have to answer to anyone. And power learns it can act first, deal with consequences later, if it ever does. If the shooting was justified, prove it. Release the facts about shooting Alex Preddy. Preserve the evidence. Let it be independently reviewed. If it wasn't, people need to be held accountable. Period. Because when force replaces law and silence replaces truth, that isn't strength, listeners. That's a country coming apart. And all of this has people up in arms in America. And it's not just happening here. Now Venezuela's acting president says she's had enough of orders from Washington. And before anyone pretends this is some isolated tantrum from her, let's get real. This didn't come out of nowhere. For decades, U.S. policy toward countries like Venezuela have been built on the idea that Washington gives orders, everyone else adjusts. Open your oil to us, fall in line, take the pressure, and call it partnership. Under Donald Trump, that instinct didn't just continue. It got louder, cruder, crazier, and more openly hostile. And now the Venezuelan acting president in Caracas, in Venezuela says no. Out loud. On the record. But here's the bigger truth. It's not just Venezuela. This is happening all over the world, everyone. Other leaders are starting to say the quiet part out loud, too. They're tired of the bullying, tired of the double standards, tired of being treated like pawns while Donald Trump turns global politics into a grievance tour built on threats, insults, and domination. This is what it looks like when the rest of the world gets fed up with being pushed around and stops pretending it's normal. Now let's be clear. Standing up to the United States is risky. History shows that when smaller countries push back, the response usually isn't humility. It's pressure, sanctions, isolation, backroom threats, dressed up as diplomacy. And under Trump, that pressure isn't subtle. It's personal, it's punitive, and it's designed to remind everyone who Trump thinks is in charge. The people who pay the price aren't the leaders giving speeches. It's civilians dealing with shortages, inflation, and instability they never asked for. What we're really watching is the slow erosion of an old assumption that America gets to run the board forever and everyone else just has to live with it. Trump didn't create that idea, but he's accelerating its collapse by turning American power into a blunt instrument. Countries are pushing back, not because they're heroes, but because they're fed up, and power absolutely hates being questioned. The irony is thick. The same crowd that never shuts up about sovereignty and freedom loses its mind the second another country tries to exercise either one without Washington's permission. Independence is only celebrated when Donald Trump signs off on it. So yes, Venezuela, Caracas saying enough matters. Not because it's clean or safe, but because it's part of something larger. The world is getting louder, the patience is gone, and when enough countries stop playing along at the same time, the fallout doesn't stay contained. And here's the part Trump and his allies don't want to hear. You can't bully the entire planet forever and expect obedience. You can't destabilize regions, issue ultimatums, and act shocked when the rest of the world pushes back. This isn't about Venezuela anymore. It's about global patience that's been burned through. And when leaders everywhere start saying enough at the same time, that's not chaos. That's consequences, Donald. And Donald Trump, who treats power like a personal tantrum, is about to find out what happens when the world stops listening. We are at an obvious crossroads in America. Donald keeps pushing the envelope, and the envelope is so torn apart, it's unrecognizable. I want my country back. I want my country back now. Not tomorrow, not after the midterms, now. And I know that's not feasible, and it's unrealistic, but I'm beyond fed up. My soul is so poisoned with the garbage erupting from this loser of a man, Donald Trump. I urge all of you, the listeners, stop doom scrolling. Stop wasting time on social media. Stop trying to convert people who don't give a crap. Call everyone in charge instead. Democratic leaders, Republican leaders as well, and voice your opinion and your outrage. Tell everyone and anyone who's in charge how you feel and that you've had it and you're fed up with it and you want it to stop now. You want normalcy back in your life and in this country. So do I. It's damn time, Wolfpack. There's so much more garbage happening in our country today and will continue to happen because of Donald, the delusional one. You already know I could do an hour podcast each time because of this crap, but that would be wasting your time. It's enough to know that Donald is crazy and insecure, and that says it all. This is episode 200. I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of my podcast. My girlfriend and I are going to celebrate this. I'm hoping some of you care enough to send your thoughts. It's great to get, family to support you and congratulate you, but it's even nicer when outsiders, listeners, give their opinion and thoughts. wolfpacktalks@gmail.com. WOLFPACKTALKS@gmail. I really hope I hear from some of you. I could use a couple of smiles on my face with everything that's going on with my family and I and our financial situation. That link, if you still want to help and support us, is available, and it's in the description of the podcast. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf. This is A World Gone Mad. The shit is hitting the fan because of Donald, and I'm doing everything I can to keep it from totally swallowing up my house and America. Everyone, lock in, keep alert, remain skeptical, but most of all, stay hopeful.